Hey, perfect spirit. I'm Sam Shelley, and they call me the Miracle Man. Now, let's create a miracle in your life right here, right now. No time to delay, time's ticking. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I talk about getting rid of all this head trash, all those beliefs, memories, these stories that are really holding you back. So, we need to throw them out and live our life. So, today I was just wondering what to talk about, and I always sit with that, and just simply comes up, and it's like no one to impress. So you just have to realize that there is no one to impress, no one to prove yourself to, no one to validate yourself to. It's just mind creating this head trash, saying you have to do this, this, and that to impress someone or to validate yourself or to prove yourself. This is all head trash. We're here to be our authentic self right here in the heart, not this mental story, and not hanging on to that mental story like this is my identity, this is my personality, and there's nothing to prove. There's nothing to prove because that just creates a lot of stress trying to meet the mental obligations, or thinking what the other person wants to hear to prove and validate yourself. There's no reason for that. Just be the authentic you. Speak your truth, and you'll find your tribe. Not trying to fit yourself into a mold per se, but just relax. It's going to be okay. You're perfect spirit. You don't need to prove anything. You're whole and complete just as you are. And this may be difficult to see at times, because the mind is always going with the inner dialogue, beating you up, being a people pleaser, trying to prove yourself, trying to validate yourself, preventing you from stepping into your own power. We have to realize our strength, our power is within us. It's never outside of us. It's always within us, and we're co-creating our reality. And I saw an interesting program that I really liked. I forget what it was, Superhuman. And I think it was called Superhuman or something like that, but we're all superhuman. It's simply the stuff that diminishes us. Within us is infinite possibilities. And we have to remember that our thoughts, our thinking is projecting into the world, and we're being created in that image, and everything is being created in our image, our perceptions, what we're seeing, our thoughts are creating this reality. The way you need to think of this, that all around us is consciousness. Now, the swirling consciousness, this is what I see a lot of, the swirling energy, which is this consciousness. And within this consciousness that's everywhere are these forms, this body, this mouse, this phone. They're all surrounded by consciousness. And that consciousness projects that image, if you will. And that becomes our reality. But there's nothing outside of us. That it's all within our consciousness, this projection. So we really don't need to prove anyone, because there is no separation in consciousness. It's all one energy. And we're just little slices, different projections in that one energy. That's kind of deep, but the thing was really coming today was like no one to impress. Just be you. And when you're just you, there's just a humble confidence. Take this wisdom or not. It's up to you. I don't try to force this down your throat. I don't try to change you, control you. These are just my observations. You take it or leave it. So that's really what it is. Just take it or leave it. Just continue to relax in this moment, that there's nothing to accomplish, nothing to achieve in this moment. Nothing to achieve from the mind. This mind is filled with all this doing energy. So we really want to move from this deeper place. So we want to get out of this doing stuff and just sit and relax and realize I only need to do that which inspires me, where I need to take action. To notice, okay, I'm hungry, I need to eat, I need to make that phone call, I need to do this. Or it's more like, I get to do this, I get to do that. And making these conscious choices on what you get to do. And yes, some of those choices aren't going to be very pleasant, but they're necessary to take care of this body, to provide for our needs. But all this doing energy, this constant chasing the to-do list doesn't serve us. Yeah, so I don't edit these. These are just me raw, just coming to you, just sharing my insights of what's coming to me in that moment. I've done this now for about 6 months in a row, daily videos. And it's just offering wisdom. I'm not trying to force you. I just want you to remember who you are. This part of you that knows that you are perfect spirit. You are consciousness. You were that which can't be described. One thing is for certain, you're not these stories, these memories, this past. You're not that. You're not this body. You're just not that. You are the observer of this experience that you're creating. Because realize, your consciousness, and this body is within consciousness. So we can create this abundance in our life, prosperity. Like there's $1 million in the bank with your name on it. So go get it. The only thing that's preventing you is the stories saying you're not good enough, you're not deserving, whatever it is. But within you is wisdom that says, okay, to get that $1 million, do this. Then when you go do that, then it'll say, go do this. It's not going to give you, do this, then this, then this, then this, then this. It doesn't work that way. It's like, do this. Okay, then do this. Okay, then do this. Spirit is not in a rush. The mind's constantly rushing, rushing, rushing. Spirit knows everything is unfolding perfectly, just as it is here in this moment. And if this moment isn't desirable, then it's like, okay, what actions can I take to change this moment? And operating once again from this deeper place on the changes that you can make. But really, it's just relaxing, get rid of the doing, get rid of the need to impress anyone, get rid of the need to prove yourself, to validate yourself. Just march to your own drummer, march to your own truth, and just watch. Everything will unfold perfectly in ways you can't explain. Especially when you get this out of the way and you're in sync with spirit, things just magically just show up. One example of this that I can think of, I was speaking at a conference in 2017 out in California, and I was living in the Philadelphia area at the time. I simply had business cards, but they had Astoria, New York for my location, but I wasn't living in Astoria at that time. But I just set the intention, create the business cards, and let it go. Within about six, 7 months later, here I am living in this Astoria, New York. And it wasn't me doing all this planning, figuring things out. It was just being in a place of trust, just to do this, to do that. There's nothing magical here. It's just taking one step and one step and one step. The mind's very impatient and wants all the details, all the plans, and never works out that way because life is fluid. It's not static. It's not fixed. Life is just constantly flowing, and we have to move to our flow. And that's really the key, is moving to our flow, our way of being, and not be falling into the mental traps. The hardest thing is not falling into the mental traps, that we're very addicted to our head trash. And it's just head trash, it's garbage, it needs to be thrown out. We just need to trust our own voice, our own wisdom, which is the wisdom of all that is. Because we're always connected to all that is. It's not like I'm on my island here, you're on your island over there, and you're on your island over there. No, we're all consciousness. And we're just doing these different projections inside of that consciousness. All right, so that's all I wanted to recap today, that there's no one to impress. Just be you, the authentic you, and it's beautiful just being you. And you really resonate with those people who don't hide, who just speak their truth. So just speak your truth, and that's enough. All right, bye for now.